So you can create any line, any odd, and it posts for other people to take. So it's all peer to peer. There is no house. And the benefits of doing that are one, it's only 1% juice.
All right, guys, this is Ken with Picking Duck. I've got a new guest today, and his name is Gino. He's with another platform, and you guys are going to love this one. I'm glad to share it with you guys. He's Gino from Bet Openly. Gino, thanks for joining us today.
Ken, my dude, thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
Yeah, so why don't you start by explaining your website and your platform? Just give us what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, the best way I could describe it in, a couple sentences is Bet Openly is a market for all sports wagers. So you can create any line, any odd, and it posts for other people to take. So it's all peer to peer. There is no house. And the benefits of doing that are one, it's only 1% juice. So that saves you 90% instead of the typical 10% plus. And two, you have complete freedom to create anything you want, even crazy lines that maybe no one will like, but complete freedom to do what you want.
Props, everything, or what do you got there?
As of right now, good question. That'll probably come toward the end of this year. Right now, we're pretty standard on spread, money line, over, under, parlays, and teasers.
Okay. Wow. Even teasers,
game
huh?
related. Yeah.
Is that new? Because the last time I was there, I didn't see a teaser, but I guess.
Yeah. So no, it's not new. The reason it's there is actually you can physically move the line on any parlay. So you can you could add 7 points to any parlay you want.
Got it. Okay. So if I took a created parlay, I can just add 7 to all of them, or I could even add 7, add 10. I could do that, right?
You could add 7 to one, take away 7 from another. You could go wild.
Awesome, man. So it's a peer-to-peer betting and with a 1% juice then overall.
Yeah, that's pretty much, that's the concept.
Okay, so now how did you start getting involved in the sports betting industry?
Oh, don't get me in trouble, Ken. But no, like seriously, I was a bookie in high school and college, and
like a lot of us,
I basically said, what could put bookies out of business? And I said, honestly, peer to peer would put people out of business. So I wrote the roadmap for this company 10 years ago, but sports betting wasn't legal then. So once that spun off 3 years ago, I immediately started talking to coders, wrote out the roadmap, executed on it, and we've been building the platform for just over 2 years now.
Wow, that's pretty awesome, man. So, I mean, you were taking bets. I'm sure, were you placing bets too, like after you got out of that business, or what were you doing?
Yeah. I know there's a Biggie said, don't get high on your own supply.
Know you heard this before. Never get high on your own supply.
But I bet every day. I love it. I'm a conventional bettor in the sense that I love the sharps. I'll shout some out on this later, but guys like you that are looking out for the bettors, I love people that are educating people. I'm that idiot that bets with his heart, throws money away, bets stupid parlays, bets one team one half, the next team the next half. I think I'm one day going to be able to predict the world, but no, I'm a gambler by trade. That goes from back in the day where I got a fake ID so I could go to Artichoke Joe's, which is a card house up here in San Francisco. So I like action.
Nice, man. So, I mean, so you decided about this business, I guess, 10 years ago, but you only started it, I guess, executing it and building it 2 years ago. But what was your previous experience? I mean, do you have business experience, or what is it that you were doing before, I guess, you started building this?
Yeah. So what currently funds Bet Openly is I run a sales development company. So I have a lot of experience in technology. So for the past 15 years, I've been sales development, helping take companies go to market. They call it GTM, go to market. So I build out sales and tech teams to take products to market. I am not a coder, but I had a roadmap. I knew what it takes to build a roadmap, a plan of action, etc. I had all the wireframes and all that fun stuff. So that's all been built. I know how to take tech companies forward, and now I'm trying to apply it to a company I own myself.
Wow, that's awesome. So why did you feel the industry needed this platform that you're creating?
Anyone that doesn't know this, a lot of the Vegas lines actually aren't the true lines. What they are is the line. They're actually created to get people on both sides. Although Vegas does a really good job people often talk about like fixed games and fixed matches. I'm not here to argue with them. I don't know what I don't know, but I don't buy all that. I know that Vegas does a really good job getting guys like me and Ken to disagree on a game. Like Green Bay, -3.5. I'm taking Green Bay all the way. They've looked solid. Other people are gonna be like, nope, you got to go TB12. He's been there before, more experience in it. They purposely make lines, both over and under, spreads, everything. So the average guys, the average group of friends disagrees on the game. They're like, it's an art to them. So I tell you all that because if they split the country or the group of friends or anyone down the middle, they're just taking your 10%. They're literally taking your 110 and giving it to this guy at 100 and keeping your 10. So obviously I can't build a platform if I run for free. So I needed the bare minimum. And I literally am building this for the gamblers. So let's just say you bet $100 a day in a calendar year. If you did that, you're losing about 1,500 to $2,000 a year. So the difference is if you did that on Bet Openly, you'd only be losing $200. That's $1,800 in every person's pocket. I mean, I used to work and put my whole paycheck on games and stuff. So this is a platform to sincerely help people win more money and lose less. And I do think the last part is a bit under talked about in our space. People lose a lot of money gambling. They go on tilt because of the juice. They go one win, one loss. Now they're down $10. They bet a third game to get that $10 back. And it's a psychology, but long story short, I do believe in my product. Everyone wins more and loses less. And the difference of us using that 10% example, when you bet $100 on our site, you actually lose 100 even. You don't pay any juice. Where Vegas, you lose 10%. They actually hit you on the loss because they know you're excited when you place it. So if you literally lose a bet on Bet Openly, technically you were juice free, where you put up 100 instead of 110, lost $10 less. We take the 1% from the winning pot.
Okay. Gotcha.
We figure that person's happy. They won their bet and they're walking with 198.
Yes, that's a perfect scenario right there.
Exactly.
So you guys are really looking out for those bettors out there trying to help people out rather than, because these books are making a killing, man. You see what they live in, you know?
I mean, there's people that sell picks that are making a killing. They're promising both things. It's a big business. Money's fun and it's entertaining.
Yeah. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on the industry now that legalization is happening across the country? You know, what do you think is going to happen? And how do you guys plan on attacking that?
Yeah. So we're in like this gray area in the sense that we're not a house. We don't take bets. So we're all peer to peer. So we fall into a different realm in the sense that we're falling closer to the pooled wagers. We're not fighting for a license to be a house. A lot of people are fighting to get that 10% juice. It's a very good model. So they're lining up to get that. We're trying to go the route more like the Bitcoin crypto route, where we want peer to peer. We want to connect two strangers safely and securely, let them bet on their opposite and literally save them 90%. So we're probably going to be the enemy of the big guy, because they see us as, whoa. If they can get the same bet with you for 1%, why would they pay us 10? And the answer is they guarantee your bet. It's an instant. I'll talk bad about my site for a second. The reality is if you make a selfish bet or you make it super last minute or no one likes the other side, your bet can get canceled. So you won't see that with a bookie or a house. So as we gain more and more people, that will go down. But yeah, we're trying to disrupt the industry, not just race the bottom on margins.
Exactly. Yeah. The industry needs a lot of disrupting, right? I mean, it's been here for so long, but the fact that it's been illegal just didn't allow it to develop properly, right?
Yeah. And you and I are in California. So we saw once marijuana went legal, it changed. Like the taxes came in. The craziest part about all that is sometimes it becomes more expensive, which is not, I don't want to get into like a whole political debate about government, but sometimes government puts their hands in things and doesn't make it better for the end user, let's just say. So we're going to try and fight that and keep this as a savings model for all of our sports entertainment fans.
Well, even talking about that, I mean, the government and, you know, all those regulators are making money off those books. I mean, so they're going to try and stop you guys. You know what I'm saying? So What's your plan, or what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. So we hired obviously an attorney that's familiar in the space,
Mhm.
and she gave us her interpretation of the law and why we should exist. We did have the attorney general for New Jersey send us a cease and assist. So
Oh
yeah,
shit.
so we don't operate in Jersey. We do currently operate in all the same states as FanDuel and DraftKings, however.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm not going to badmouth the guy. He's an attorney general. He knows more about law than me. A little low blow how he did it. He could have emailed me. Like, my name's on the site. My phone number's there. Like, I am available. We have a chat bot on the site. I'm on it at least 40 hours a week, not straight, but I hop on whenever one of my employees isn't on there. My opinion, like you said, he's in bed with the guys that are making the big bucks. And the crappiest part is, if you actually care about your citizens, if you're the attorney general, you would see that our site literally saves them money when they lose, and they make the same when they win. So you would have to be in denial about wanting to help people. There is no reason to have a billionaire casino stacking when there are people that like opposite bets. The only reason is if you prefer big business over your citizens. So I hope that doesn't get me up in court, but the reality is peer to peer is the future. We are building this for the better. We're not building this for the billionaire. And I hope people see that. And I'm sure one day I'll be asked to cease and assist in a city or county where I don't want to, and I'll have to show up to court. But I do sincerely believe in our message to anyone that understands what we're doing. We are saving people money that are entertainment. We're removing the middleman who just takes money from both sides. And that mathematical equation, you have to pick almost 54% correct just to break even, which we know a lot of people cannot do.
Right.
So it's all a trap, and we're removing the trap. You literally at 1%, if you're picking 52% right, you're winning now. And I can't tell you how many people don't fall into the 54 plus and how many fall into the 52 to 54. I don't have the data of the casinos, but if I could see it, I bet you would see that we have almost like 20 to 30 times the users that profit. And I know that sounds like a crazy number, but people don't realize that when you put 1,000 in and you lose $10 every bet, there's not a lot there after 50 bets.
Yeah,
And
it's kind of, it's, the number seems like a 2% difference. It seems so small, but it does make a huge difference, especially when you're throwing down like big bets, like $1,000 a game. The numbers start to become really massive as far as
yeah,
what money, where the money's going, right?
yeah, and let me give you an example too. So like this week, like everyone knows the 10% from the spread, but let's just talk money line for a second. You know, I'm looking at Green Bay minus 185 and Tampa Bay plus 160. That's what everyone booked. They're taking $25 out of the middle of that. With us, someone could literally post Green Bay minus 170, and they save 15 bucks, and the other person saves 10, they're getting 10 more. Literally a win-win.
Mhm.
So I'm telling you, don't get me in trouble, but they're going to hate me because all I'm doing is taking everything they're stealing from people. And I'm giving you these are close game lines. If you guys go and look at like MMA or where there's like more lopsided,
Uh-huh.
you'll see someone's like minus 330 and someone else is plus 250. That's $80 margin in the middle.
Wow.
With us, you could do a minus 300 plus 300. One guy saves 30, the other guy saves 50.
That's awesome.
So we literally are removing the middleman, which is going to cause havoc when you go out big banks.
That is disruption, right? Disruption in any industry causes that havoc. You know, if you guys are getting those cease and desist, that means you're doing something right. You know what I'm saying?
I hope so.
Yeah, because they're gonna be like, oh, they're getting scared, you know?
Yeah.
And from what I know in the industry is that you guys are still doing everything legally.
Yeah.
Right? So
we did cease and desist, just to be clear. I wrote them right away and said, done.
Yeah. It's not a fight you want to fight right now.
Yeah, no, and I couldn't even afford the fight. So the reality is some of our laws are set for interpretation. It's not as black and white as like you need to be, or you need, this drug is illegal, or you have to be this old to buy cigarettes. That's some laws. There's also different laws that the way they were written are set for interpretation. Have you ever played California blackjack? Do you know like you ever screw around with casinos here in California?
And in California, no, not really, only in Nevada.
Okay, so I used to go to all these houses all the time. So we're like the poker houses in LA, you know, where you could play.
Oh yeah.
The reason those exist is there's no house. They're actually doing a service. They have a dealer. The dealer takes a little off your pot and they move on. We're actually operating under those laws more than a house law because California blackjack, for anyone that doesn't know, there's a person sitting there that's dealing. There's a person next to them that's playing bank. And then you can also, as a player at this table, ask to play the bank. And then you get every ninth deck, you get to be the bank and have the house advantage. So long story short, that's an interpretation. The interpretation was casinos are illegal, but gambling's not. So again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't want to get myself into trouble here, but long story short, we are operating under accredited lawyer, formerly with a big gambling company. And she gave us her interpretation of how we can make peer-to-peer legal. And a lot of it, just to give anyone out there that's interested in getting this space, because there's room for enough of us.
Right.
It's a skilled wager. We let people change the size of the bets. It's not fixed. So we can prove we have users that this is a skill. And skilled wagers, it's kind of how FanDuel and DraftKings won their Supreme Court, are allowed in our country. So
hey, that makes sense to me. Skilled wager. I mean, sports betting is a skilled wagering type game. So
it takes a lot of research, studying. Like there's a lot that goes into it.
I appreciate you coming on and sharing all that. So how can my viewers and how can we help you guys grow? How can we help your platform? How can we help you?
All we need is users. If you gamble on games, and this is where I'm drinking my own Kool-Aid, if you sincerely gamble on games, the more users we have, the more likely your bet is to get taken. The more users we have, the more options you have on our live feed to choose from. So we're in a good spot where right now, again, we're small, we're a baby. So I only see 1 or 2 signups a day right now. But if every friend that signed up tries it, likes it, sees that I pay out all bets within 24 hours, all bets settle within minutes, but all withdrawals are paid within 24 hours. You'll see we're a very ethical company. We remove a lot of the shadiness of this business. And if you like it, and we earn your trust over the next coming weeks. I have a LinkedIn. I have other businesses that are not in this gray market that is gambling or they consider it a vice. My face is on the company for a reason because I put the integrity of it next to me. And if you see and like what you see, bring your friends. That's all we need. Because sincerely, my goal, I don't win when you lose. That's the difference of Vegas and bookies. Bookies win when their players lose. I do not. When Ken bets the Lakers because he's scum, and I bet the Warriors because I'm a king. Either I win or Ken wins. Gino never wins. I'm speaking figuratively, but Bet Openly never wins. So we are just a safe and secure way. And honestly, for friends that document stuff and argue and have lost a friend over an argument over the details of a bet, we give you full track record of every bet ever placed. You can bet directly with friends via text or email. We're just become a system of record. And you bet with your friend directly, $100, you each get the 100. There's no juice. We get $1. So if you think that's worth it to not fight with your friend or family over details, awesome. Otherwise, you can still do what you want with it.
All right, guys, that was Gino from Bet Openly. He shared us with his platform. You heard him. He needs more users. Go out there, check it out. Peer-to-peer betting. You won't pay juice like you do at your normal books, guys. So this is Ken with Picking Ducks signing off. Thanks a lot for coming on, Gino.
Thanks for having me, brother. I appreciate you a lot.